What I think is actually interesting about the Digi60 festival on its own is that 60 days is so much time to do something. You can do something with scope. It's not limited to 72 hours where you're forced to compromise. I think you can really come up with a product that is as good as it would be under any other constraints you'd have in any other project.
Maybe you talk about the number of locations that you did have then? How many, do you know offhand?
Yeah, we had close to 20 locations. I mean, some were very close. We were trying to be smart about picking places where we just have to go a bit down the road to get the next thing. You know, setup isn't what it used to be. The filmmaking hasn't just become cheaper, it's become easier. You know, newer cameras and new technology has made it way easier for a smaller crew to set up. And I think that made a huge difference in terms of how many locations we could hit up. I don't think this would have been possible 10 years ago. Queen Street was the easiest to get. First thing first was we needed to get a permit. We knew that if we shot somewhere in Queen Street and unloaded a bunch of body bags, we'd be arrested. So we grabbed that. Like I said, it wasn't that difficult. They were very, very easy to work with and accommodating, given that we did not give them the amount of time they recommend you give. So they worked with us really well. We showed up. We set up immediately on top of the van so that we weren't in breach of our permit, but we could set up a little bit earlier. And then we unloaded the body bags. Later, 2 security guards came up to us, and they're like, "Yeah, we saw you unloading body bags. That seemed weird." But then I guess like half an hour later, we saw the camera. I'm thinking, like, it took half an hour in this city for someone to call the cops after people unloaded body bags onto the streets.
And it sounds like it's not difficult to arrange those locations either.
No, like I said, the film office was great. They worked with us really well. And then beyond that, I mean, the attitude in Ottawa is really good. I think that people haven't been jaded. Not too many people have been late because a movie was shooting down the road. So it's still a magical, cool thing to them.
I think if you'd been in Toronto, like just to find a farm, you would have had to driven out. Like it seems like Ottawa is just an ideal location.
Well, I think Ottawa's in a really great position where you've got a lot of talented people and a lot of passionate people without a huge history of films being made here. You go to Montreal or Toronto, you want to shoot somewhere, the first question they're going to ask is, how much can you pay me? And here, generally, the first question they ask is like, can my kids be in it? Can I show up? Plus, there's a lot of different looks. You can move 2 blocks and it's faceless big buildings with no signage. And then you can go over to the Glebe and it feels like, you know, Midtown America anywhere. I think there's a lot of range in Ottawa. I love it. There's nothing I like more than talking shop and talking about film. And beyond that, I mean, if there's something that you think you can do, try for it. People always try to make a film like another film. So they'll try to make a film like Evil Dead. And what they'll realize after it sort of fails is that when Sam Raimi made Evil Dead, he wasn't trying to make a movie like Evil Dead. He was trying to make a movie like the best movie that ever existed. It just ended up like Evil Dead. So film is always going to be a compromise, and no matter what, for any filmmaker everywhere. So unless you just go balls to the wall and try stuff that maybe you don't know if you can do, you're never going to make it further than you made it last time.